What's up, guys? I am so excited because today we are starting our brand new Let's Play world in Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Let's get started. Alright guys, so as you can see, we are at the Create New World screen. So I'm about to start my new world. I'm going to walk you through some of the settings and just verify that I'm not doing anything weird with this world. I'm not going to enable cheats or use some key that I looked up online that has a really nice starting area. This is going to be completely random. So first of all, we're going to pick a name. We'll call this our Let's Play Season 1. And I apologize for the mouse clicks. My microphone is right next to my keyboard, and I've got one of those loud clackety-clack keyboards. Game mode survival. I like survival. You've got survival and creative. Creative, you can do whatever you want. You can just get any block in the game that you want. You can break any block in the game that you want. It's great for prototyping stuff. So throughout the series, off camera, I'm probably going to go into a creative world just to try out some builds, and I highly recommend that. If you have an idea for a build that you want to work on, rather than spending a lot of time and resources in your survival world trying to see how big you want to make it or what block types are going to look good together, or how to set up the redstone device or something, hop over into Creative World and give it a go first. It's going to take a lot less time. It's going to be a lot less frustrating. And then you can switch back to your survival world and actually go make it happen. So we're going to do a survival game. Now, difficulty, I like playing on normal. Hard is fine. For the most part, it just gives the mobs a little bit more health and makes them deal more damage. For me, that's not what Minecraft is about. And so I just find the game to be more enjoyable on normal difficulty. And so I'm just going to play it on normal. Maybe I'll get shot down for that, but I don't care. I'm doing this for me. We're not going to do the starting map or bonus chests. For the seed, like I said, we're just going to let the game give us a random seed. But I do want to show you this really fast. If you click on the little arrow next to seed, there's a bunch of different pre-generated biomes or starting maps that you can choose from. And so if you really want to start near like a taiga village or a jungle or desert village or something, you can come in here and pick one of these, and you will get a world that starts you out in this location. Now, if you pick one of these, the seed that you get is going to be the exact same every time for the same starting biome. So it's not like you can pick a random taiga village each time. You're going to get the same map every time you do this. But it can be nice for just guaranteeing that you start out in the biome that you want. So I'm going to get rid of that so we get a random seed. Simulation distance. This just controls how far away from where your character is at in the world is the game going to simulate the world. So that includes mob spawns, that includes things like crops and trees growing, that includes redstone devices ticking, villagers breeding, all that sort of stuff. It's only going to happen within a certain number of chunks from your character, and a chunk is made up of 16 by 16 blocks. Now the game does this for a reason, because you don't want the entire world simulating all the time. It doesn't matter if some tree 10,000 blocks away from you is growing or not, because you're not there to experience it. So in Minecraft terms, if a tree falls in the forest and you're not within 10 chunks to hear it, it's not going to make a sound. Friendly fire on. Now I am going to turn on show coordinates because I like to know where I'm at in the world. In Java Edition, you can just hit F3 at any time and see your coordinates. But if you want to see your coordinates in Bedrock Edition, you have to turn them on in the game settings. I don't remember if you can do this after, like while you're playing the game, but you can come back and toggle this on or off in the game settings at any time. Other than that, we're going to leave everything else at the default. I'm not going to activate cheats because I like getting achievements, and it's just, I don't know, I feel like if you want cheats, just play creative mode, don't play survival. Alright, so I think that is it. So here we go. Oh, it's not going to be Taiga Village. It's going to be Let's Play Season 1. And here we go. Alright, so here we are in our brand new Minecraft world, and I'm liking the look of this so far. I enjoy starting out near the ocean. I like starting out near the water, period, but especially being close to the ocean. And it looks like we've got... Yeah, I'm pretty sure if we just keep going that way, we'll hit ocean pretty soon. So that's nice. Those mountains look pretty good. What else we got around here? We got plenty of trees. We got a lot of sand for making glass and concrete later on. Oh, look at that. It's a little bit hard to see from over here, but I think that is a ruined portal. Nice. I'll have to go check that out later. Alright, so before we go off doing a whole lot of exploring and building and Minecrafting stuff, I like to just kind of mark where I started in the world, where the world spawn is. This isn't really necessary, it's just something I like to do. Create something that's obviously artificial, something that did not generate randomly, so that if I ever run across this again in the future, I'll remember, oh yeah, that's where I started. Because I might not settle here permanently. I might find a nicer location with better resources, better biome, and decide to move there. And so if I ever come back here again, it's just kind of nice knowing this is where it all began. Alright, so we're going to want to make some basic tools. To do that, we're going to need wood. Everything pretty much starts with wood. So right now we have nothing except the little bit of dirt that I just dug up, which you can't really do much with. So we're going to need some wood to make crafting table and some basic starting tools. One tree should be enough to get us going for now. So I'll come over here, open my inventory, and you can't do a whole lot with logs besides build structures. So I'm going to take all of these and turn them into planks. Now here's your first crafting tip. Rather than just clicking on each of these one at a time to turn all of the wood, all the logs into planks, you can just shift left click and it will just grab the entire stack. So it crafts everything and returns all of the items. So that'll save you a little bit of time. Likewise, to make a crafting table we need 4 planks. I could just place these down one at a time. But if you press and hold right mouse button and just drag, it'll just drop one item into each slot. And so that can save you a lot of time as well. So we'll take a crafting table, we'll drop that down. The crafting table is going to give you a 3x3 crafting area instead of the 2x2 area that you have in your inventory, which is going to allow you to craft a whole lot more items in the game. Most items take up more space than a 2x2 crafting area. The recipe book is really good for looking up recipes. And so if you don't know how to make things, you can just click on it and it'll show you the recipe for that. If you already know the recipe, sometimes it can be a little bit quicker to just do it by hand. So that's why I'm kind of placing the blocks down by hand in the crafting window. So this should get us started for now, just 4 sticks. So the first tool that we need is a wooden pick. We can't really do anything until we get some better tools. And we need stone to do that. And you can't mine stone without a pick. The wooden pick is really the only wooden tool that you want to make. The other ones are just, they're not very good. And it's easy enough to get stone, so it's just really not worth bothering with the wooden tools except for the pickaxe. Now, if you can't find stone nearby where you're at, you can always just start digging down and just kind of go down in a staircase pattern. And you'll eventually hit stone if you go down deep enough. And so that's another little trick if you don't want to go wandering around hunting for stone all over the world. Now in this case I want to mine only the stone, because when you mine stone it turns into cobblestone, and cobblestone is the block that we need to craft our other tools. You cannot craft stone tools with granite, which are the red blocks behind me, in front of me. You can't craft stone tools with andesite, with diorite, with gravel. It's got to be cobblestone. Whoa! Hi there. Oh boy, he's gonna kill me. Alright, so we're gonna make the rest of our stone tools now. Get a couple more sticks. Make a stone pickaxe to replace our wooden pickaxe. We'll make a stone axe for chopping down some trees. Make a stone shovel for digging up dirt. couple more planks, a couple more sticks, and we'll make a stone hoe. Just one last thing, we'll take a stone sword. So we've got all the tools now. We're also going to want a furnace, which is going to allow us to smelt and cook things, because there are a handful of things that you need to do your first day in Minecraft. And when I say first day in Minecraft, I mean Minecraft day. So a Minecraft day is 10 minutes long before the sun sets, and then the nighttime is also 10 minutes. So we've already spent 3 or 4 minutes in game. It's almost noon. Oh, no, sorry, the sun's going that way. It's past noon. Holy smokes, we need to get a move on. Before night falls, there's a couple things we need to do. Number one, we need a bed. You do not want to be awake at night during the nighttime in Minecraft on your first day. At night, you're going to get zombie spawns, creepers, skeletons, and without any armor or good weapons yet, you just don't want to face those guys. So we need to get a bed, and that is your top priority. Now, to make a bed, you're going to need 3 wool and 3 planks. We've got the planks, we just need the wool. So we'll find some sheep. We will slaughter those sheep to get the wool, and as a side effect, we will also get some raw mutton, which leads us to priority number 2, and that is going to be food. So food is not a huge concern the first day, because as you can see, my hunger gauge is still mostly full. It should last you for the entire first day before your hunger starts going down. Mine's going down a little bit quicker because I took some damage earlier from a drown, but you should be able to get through the whole first day without needing any food. But you still want to get started collecting food, because you don't want to have to go find food by the time you actually need it. You want to already have the food on hand, which means preparing ahead of time. So for food, you can go kill animals like we're doing, or you can use crops. One of the best crops starting out is going to be wheat, because you can get the seeds for wheat just by punching grass. So as I'm going around, I'm going to punch a bunch of grass, get a bunch of seeds. We can plant these seeds, and that will eventually grow into wheat. And then we can turn that wheat into bread, and we will have a pretty steady supply of food at that point, because when you harvest wheat, not only do you get the wheat, but you also get more seeds, which can be replanted and grow more wheat, and so you just get a nice sustainable source of food. Other good food to start out with are carrots and potatoes. And so if you can run across an NPC village early on, you can usually find some carrots and potatoes growing in their fields. Those are both really good sources of food, especially the potatoes, because you can cook them and make baked potatoes, which is going to restore more health than a raw potato. And then also, if you're lucky enough to start near a taiga biome where the big spruce trees grow, keep an eye out for sweetberry bushes, which are probably the best early game source of food, simply because they grow very, very fast and you get a good amount of food from them. The food doesn't, when you eat it, it doesn't give you a lot of hunger value back, but you get a lot of sweet berries from them. Okay, so we need to make our bed. Now to make a bed, it takes 3 wool and 3 planks, and the wool all has to be the same color. I really want to dye this because I don't like white beds. I want a red bed, but I don't see any red flowers. So every flower in the game can be turned into a dye, which is why I'm looking for some red flowers, but I don't see any, and I don't want to go looking around before the sun sets, so I'll just go with pink. So to make a dye, you just put your flowers into the crafting table and you get dye back. Combine the dye with the wool and you get that color wool. Now we can make a bed with 3 of the same color wool and 3 planks. It can be any 3 planks, doesn't matter. So let's put our bed down and sleep before all the big monsters come out. And that gets us safely through the first night. Now we don't have to deal with fighting any mobs. There's a creeper over there, and the creepers are not going to despawn or burn up in the daytime, so you do need to keep an eye out for them during the morning. But other mobs like zombies and skeletons, they'll just burn up in the sunlight unless they're wearing headgear. Now we need to turn our attention to food. So we've got some meat, and then we need to cook it up. You can eat the meat raw, but there's a pretty good chance you're going to make yourself sick if you do that, and so it's not really a good idea. So we need to cook this meat, which means we need a fuel source. Now, I haven't run across any coal yet, so we're gonna have to use some wood as our fuel. This was something I did not know about in Minecraft until recently, but you can use wood as fuel. So if we look at the furnace interface, it looks like this. The bottom box is your fuel, the top box is the thing that you want to cook or smelt, and then the output will come out over here on the right. So we are going to, I don't remember if you can use planks or not. Yeah, so you can use planks or logs to do your smelting. So you want to go with planks because it's going to last longer. But you can see it burns through the planks really quickly. So you're only going to be able to cook 1.5 items per plank. So the better alternative, if you don't want to burn through a big stack of wood planks to cook up some meat, is go ahead and smelt a log. You can't smelt planks, but you can smelt a log. And when you do that, you're going to get charcoal. Now, what can we do with charcoal? We can use charcoal and turn it into a campfire. So with our charcoal, we can make a campfire. And in addition to providing light, the campfire is going to allow you to cook things. So you can put up to 4 food items on the campfire to cook them at the same time. And they'll just take a few seconds, and when they're done, they'll pop off, and you will now have food ready for you to eat. So this is nice because you don't have to keep wasting fuel in a furnace cooking up food as you find it, especially if you just find food here and there, like when you're killing sheep to get some wool. Speaking of which, the downside is you can only do 4 at a time, and you do have to sit there and wait for it to cook, because if you run off, it's just going to pop off the campfire when it's done and sit on the ground, and if you don't pick it up, then it will despawn. So you want to stay near your campfire as it's cooking so you don't lose the things that you're cooking. Alright, so I was able to cook up the food that I already had, but I don't want to constantly be running around finding animals to kill to keep my food supply up. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on these crops to plant so I can have a much more reliable source of food once they grow. Now, it's best to plant your crops near the water. I don't remember exactly if you can plant them away from water and they just don't grow as fast. But yeah, if you have water nearby, go ahead and plant your crops by the water. And they need to be within 4 blocks of the water for the ground to be hydrated. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can plant my seeds down. Now I'm actually going to skip a row because they will grow faster if there's a row in between them. It's a little trick that I learned. So I'm just going to do alternating rows of 4 until I use up all my seeds. And I'm going to go see if I can find one more seed because I don't like having that one row that's different from all the others. There we go. Alright, so now we've got our nice little field, our crop field going, and we'll just have to wait and give those time to grow, and then we'll be able to harvest the wheat and turn it into bread. Alright, so we've got our bed taken care of, we've got our food situation under control, so let's turn to the last thing that we need to focus on the first day in Minecraft, and that is going to be shelter. Now the shelter is important because it's going to protect you from any mobs that spawn. So if nighttime falls and you're busy crafting or cooking or doing something, you don't want some zombies or a creeper to sneak up behind you and kill you while you're not paying attention. So you need something to just protect you from everything that's going on in the world. And you need a nice little shelter to do that. Now, we don't have a whole lot of resources to work with right now. And I'm not one for really digging mud huts because I want things to look nice, and a little mud hut doesn't look nice. So what I'm actually going to do is just create a little temporary shelter. It doesn't have to be anything big or fancy. This is just something that's going to get us through until we have the resources to build something a little bit nicer. So I'm just going to dig a little hole in the ground. It's going to go back a few blocks. but it'll be just enough room to put my bed, my crafting table, the chest with my supplies, my furnaces, and anything else that I want to kind of hang on to and keep safe. Alright, so let's move all of our equipment into our new little dugout here. Let's see. I'll put my bed in the corner here, put the crafting table next to it, kind of looks like a little nightstand. I'll put my chest over here with the furnace next to it. Now I can start putting some of the stuff that I don't need right away into the chest, clear up my inventory space. I'll hold on to the food. And one last finishing touch on the shelter, I need to put a door on here so that nothing can walk in while I'm unawares. So a door is just going to be 6 planks in this configuration. The type of wood that you use to make the door is going to give you a different door. All we really have right now is oak and birch, and I don't like birch doors, so we'll just go with oak. Put that down, and now we have a nice little door to our dirt hideout. Yeah. Alright, so that is going to conclude the episode, except for one last thing. I've got a big surprise for you guys. I am going to drop the seed reveal in the first episode. So there it is. There's my world seed. So if you would like to follow along and play in the exact same world, doing the same builds, finding the same resources with the same world spawn, you can use this seed when you create your world and you will get the exact same world that I started in. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully you can follow along if you're interested. If you just want to watch and get some ideas, that's fine too. But there's the world seed if you want to use it. So that's going to wrap up our episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you will like and subscribe so that you can get notified of additional episodes that are coming out in the future. And I hope that you have fun and have a great day.